My name is Kathy Campbell. I'm the wife of Michael Campbell, and this is our story. As we've traveled across the United States, we've ran into many different things we couldn't explain. Things that would make our hair raise up and just make you think twice about what really is going on. I've always been a firm believer that there are other entities that share this world with us, but I had never actually seen one. You know, in Mike's endeavors to more or less prove, one way or the other, the existence of ghosts, he started photographing little areas around the campsite area where we are parked. One day he comes to me excited because he says, "You won't believe this." And I said, "What?" You know, and lo and behold, he shows me some pictures that he had taken just outside our camper, not 2 feet from the side of it. And there was some sort of apparition. Me being the skeptic, I didn't believe it. I said, "Okay, well, then you must have been doing something to create this." "No," he says, "I didn't do anything." So I started watching how he was going about doing his filming. And sure enough, there was no magic, there was no way of using smoke to make the apparitions, etc. So I started getting involved in his research also. And while we were filming an area just across from the motorhome, a blue flame burst out of the electrical box, came across towards our unit, dove into the ground, came back out, and to the window on the driver's side of the motorhome, appeared to be gazing in on what we were doing, almost looking at the camera dead on. It then went to the top of the truck, bounced across the top of the truck, back into the ground, and then back over into the lighthouse in a large flash. You know, I didn't believe it. I saw it on the video, but I still could not believe it. It was fascinating, but it was also scary. Trying to come up with ways that these phenomena could be happening was almost impossible. So we asked a couple of our neighbors to come over and view some of our pictures, and they were startled. They couldn't believe that they were actually living in the same area. We went ahead and to test our theory whether or not, this was just a freak of the camera or whatever, we went to his sister's house and snapped a couple of shots around her house because she claimed the house was actually haunted. Okay. Not believing it, which is normal for me, I went ahead and looked at the photographs afterwards, and I said, "Was she smoking a cigarette when you took that picture?" "No, nobody was smoking a cigarette in the house." Because lo and behold, there on the picture was the proof that there was an apparition sitting right next to her that we could not see except on film. Okay, now my curiosity is really piqued. So I began helping Michael with some of his research, looking into the background of the area that we're living in. I found out details that I would never have been able to find out any other way. And by going to the Historical Society and through the history records and so forth, we found out that this particular area has had a very active and checkered past. Everything from the big cotton mills, not just 5 miles down the road, but also the the Georgia Railroad that still exists, runs not too far from where we're at, and the train depot is less than a mile away. Apparently, according to the history, at one point there was a large number of storage warehouses here containing cotton for the mill located in Porterdale, where the train would take the cotton for milling. There was a huge fire and the warehouses burned down, and a lot of people were caught in the inferno and died there also. Do I believe in ghosts? I don't know. Do I believe in other entities still? Yes, I do. However, there are times when my hair will stand right straight up, and especially when the cat, who is Peepers, is our black cat, will suddenly stand up, go on guard, look out the window, and will do anything besides just stare, and then turn and watch something in the house, and then turn and watch it leave the house. I'm wondering whether or not we are actually in the presence of these different entities. If we are, so far, we haven't had any actual physical disturbances except for getting scared once in a while, fascinated all the time, and curious about what else we can find out here. We'll continue the researching and the photographing until we can determine for sure whether or not we have actually parked on top of a vortex of activity that is allowing this peek into what's going on around us that we're not aware of except by electronic surveillance. Thanks for listening to me, and thank you for the opportunity to be able to share this story with you.